Hello and welcome back to Investing Guide. Today we're going to be talking about why Mark Cuban strongly believes Cardano is going to reach $1,000. Cardano has been going up by huge numbers in the past few months, though still in its new days, Cardano has attracted many potential investors throughout the world. Talking about wealthy investors, television personalities, and billionaire entrepreneurs, Mark Cuban has also shown much interest in ADA in recent times. But why ADA? Mark has been in recent talks with the CEO of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, on Twitter, where he said Hoskinson tried to elaborate briefly about why Cardano and ADA are doing what they're doing. Mark seemed to be quite eager about Cardano, and he expressed that he is rooting for it. He might be thinking about adding ADA to his basketball team, Dallas Mavericks. We all know Mark Cuban for being very selective with his investments, so we can say that he has definitely seen something good about Cardano. But what is it? There's a wide number of things that make Cardano great. It's difficult to list them all, and even more difficult to know which ones are Mark's favorites. Mark's interest might be somewhere around smart contracts and dApps, because he's a big fan of those, but there could be other things too. In case you're not familiar with Mark Cuban, you might be wondering who he is. Well, he's one of America's biggest tycoons, and the biggest question is why Cardano? What does he see in it? Let's take a look at him and his investment choices, which will give you a clearer idea about his way of doing things. As said before, Mark Cuban is an American billionaire, entrepreneur, and television personality. He's also the owner of Dallas Mavericks, which is a basketball team of the NBA. Being born in a middle-class household, Mark was determined to do something big from a young age. He started his journey by selling trash bags in his neighborhood. He became a part of many businesses throughout his life until he started his own. In 1990, he sold the company for $6 million and decided to retire. Later on, he joined hands with AudioNet and became one of the largest shareholders. The company became very popular, and soon enough, Mark joined the Billionaires Club. In the year 2000, he purchased Dallas Mavericks. The presence of Mark has been relatively late in the market, but nobody would deny that he holds a strong position in the crypto world. Besides Polygon, Aave has managed to attract Mark's attention. It works quite similarly to a bank, but there's no involvement of a banker. He also mentioned in his blog that banks should be scared. Mark uses Dogecoin as a form of payment method for buying merchandise of Dallas Mavericks. Other recent investments include Zappa.fi and Declimate, which he bought recently in the May-June period. Mark Cuban's interest in Cardano come just at the right time. The past few months have been going very well for the third-generation blockchain platform, and with Mark's participation, the price will most likely skyrocket. In recent times, ADA has been rising at a very fast rate. At the time of making this video, ADA was standing at $2.03. In a Twitter conversation between Mark Cuban and Charles Hoskinson, CEO of Cardano, on the 15th of May, Mark voiced his interest in the company. The conversation started when Mark asked what ADA can actually be used for. How can it be used daily? And he also mentioned that he can answer this question for all of his crypto coins. Charles Hoskinson gave a brief yet detailed reply of how things work with ADA, and how it has produced a significant change in the global community. Cardano gives access to smart contracts to all of its users. We already said how Mark Cuban also always looks for smart contracts in his crypto investments. So as expected, in reply to that, Mark announced that he was rooting for him. The more valid options, the better for all of us. But as I've been tweeting, for the foreseeable future, it all comes down to utility and marketing. When you have some apps you think I could benefit from, I'm happy to buy them out. Hoskinson followed this up with a video where he explained more about ADA, how it has better opportunities than Ethereum in the future. However, we only know the official conversation which they had on Twitter. Hoskinson and Cuban may have been talking in private about Mark's involvement with the Cardano world. We can't get into their personal space, so there's no way of telling what is more to come just yet. Mark is rather finicky when it comes to investing, and he spends a lot of his time looking into different kinds of investments, eventually ignoring most of them. If Mark's attention had turned towards Cardano, that's a very good sign for the crypto. Mark's basketball team, Dallas Mavericks, has also been connected with the cryptocurrency platform recently when they started accepting cryptocurrencies. Currently, Mavericks accept Dogecoin as a form of payment. Why Dogecoin? Mark mentioned in his blog that Dogecoin has the most predictable inflation, which means that the future price of the coin can be determined and there is less amount of uncertainty. This makes Dogecoin a proper payment system. So keeping that in mind, one follower responded that ADA can be used for purchasing merchandise. Mark stated that he would love to sell merch for ADA. Dogecoin indeed has a proper and active community and very fast transaction rates, with minimum fees. But it has got its limitations. Originated from a joke, Dogecoin's development team is not very promising. There is less amount of available technical support and it lacks innovation. Cardano, on the other hand, is constantly developing its currency, and there are improvements and new technologies added almost every month. What about Ethereum then? Well, Mark Cuban has said that he owns a lot of Ethereum, and he's very fond of smart contracts, but due to its high transaction fees and lack of speed, investors like Mark are generally losing hope and are looking for alternatives. Imagine having to pay $10 in fees for a $1 transaction. That's what Ethereum's looking like now. Cardano's got a proof-of-stake network, and it also gives access to smart contracts. It claims to reach the maximum number of transactions per second than any other cryptocurrency. Cardano has lesser transaction fees and a better community as well. The third-generation blockchain network also allows the conversion of currencies like from Ethereum to ADA and vice versa. In short, Cardano attempts to make a complete decentralized platform that supports the development of dApps and DeFi applications. Mark saw the bigger picture here. He believes Cardano's got the potential to contribute significantly to the world, and he strongly believes in Cardano and has mentioned that he's rooting for it. Mark strongly believes in ADA and Cardano, as there are multiple factors that he can use for his business purposes. For example, smart contracts. The self-executing nature of these contracts provides a tremendous opportunity for any use in any field that relies on data to drive transactions. Smart contracts give accuracy, transparency, speed, and security to transactions. Exchange services like Eurex or CME charge a greater number of fees for trading, and there is always a risk of error. Mark Cuban loves smart contracts, and we've seen him investing in them over and over again. He's a busy guy, so it is unlikely that he's going to spend lots of time waiting for his money transfer. Being the owner of multiple businesses, he can surely speed up things with the help of Cardano's smart contracts feature. We've already mentioned that Mark Cuban's interested in dApps, and he said that he's willing to invest in Cardano if he finds some cool dApps that he can use for himself. Cardano's been working hard to achieve protection. After the end of their Gogoen era, making dApps with the help of Cardano will be easier than ever. ADA is now at the number 4 spot on the list of cryptocurrencies on basis and market capital. After their recent successful Alonzo White hard fork, the platform's undergoing through their Alonzo Purple fork, which will be conducted in 2 phases. This simply means that the number of people who have access to smart contracts will increase in greater numbers. And with the beginning of the Gogoen era, Cardano will be looking to implement more improvements to stand out. Experts say that the price of Cardano may hit $5 to $10 by the end of this year. If somehow the market gets a boost, it can also cross the $15 margin. The good news for Cardano is that Mark Cuban is interested in their coin, and that means they can expect a large sum of investment very soon, if he hasn't done that already in private. So can ADA ever hit $1,000? Well, it cannot be determined now. Cryptocurrency is always fluctuating and anything can happen at any time. So the outcome? We don't know, but investors are hopeful and the rest is up to time. So that is it for today, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new from it, and if you did, leave us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing because we bring out new and informative content to you every week. While you're here, go ahead and click on one of these 2 videos on your screen. See you there!